Hello, good evening and welcome to Prime Business. I am Pius Kojobaka and looking at our stories. The Ghana Association of Banks is upbeat the new set of regulatory measures by the Bank of Ghana for commercial banks targeting online charges and non-performing loans, amongst others, will go a long way to sanitize the financial system. Chief Executive of the Association of Banks, John Iwa, stated that a collaborative effort between the regulator and the banks will strengthen the financial landscape. He spoke to Joy Business.
As I go through the list of the measures that the central bank wants to introduce, I cannot see one that works against the banking industry. It is to improve the ecosystem. You talk about the digital lending guideline. Obviously, what we are having now, where today there's this company advertising that we are providing lending on our platform, most of whom we don't even know where they are operating from. And the governor is saying we are going to introduce guidelines to guide the conduct of practitioners in this environment. It helps the industry. When I say the industry, the entire financial services industry. The governor talked about consumer protection pricing mechanism, which we have already spoken about, which is the OIF, the optional issuance fee. It's not like the banks are overcharging the customers, but it's clear that as the currency has maintained some stability, the window that enables banks to play in to take care of the potential depreciation has breached. And therefore, yes, it's 2% the number, that one I can't tell. We await the details. If you talk about the other issue on addressing high NPLs, as I said, high NPLs is a cost and a charge to the bank's capital levels. So if you want to accumulate capital, we should all work together to bring the level of non-performing loans down. The governor says it's going to work with banks and in the system to work out a mechanism that helps us to reduce the NPLs. The strengthening of local governance in the banks. And here, target is obviously international banks and the regional banks. What the governor is saying is you cannot put a board in place in Ghana and decision making is offshore. The board that you have put in place on whom the governor or the central bank has performed fit and proper tests on the directors, they are supposed to be the ones taking the decisions for the regulated entity in Ghana. And I don't see how this will be a negative to the banking industry. So it is all aimed at sanitizing the financial system, and in that direction, we are very much in the same room with the government.
The Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs is calling on government to desist from the mass implementation of fund programs and consider targeted initiatives. Speaking at the launch of the National Business Agenda, he emphasized the need to establish a fair selection process which will identify potential business giants rather than selecting politically affiliated businesses, which may not qualify.
The National Business Agenda is an action plan that's expected to provide a framework for the effective implementation of youth and women-led businesses. It will also support effective collaboration among relevant agencies for impactful startup results. Speaking at the launch of the plan, Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs, Sharif Gali, said the framework will serve as an accountability tool.
Assuming government is not willing to go by it, there will be that gap. So anytime there's that accountability report, you would see that government is not playing their role. And I don't think government would want to be the one that is hindering the development of youth and women doing business. So it is something that, not necessarily to say a force, but it's a tool that you must reckon with and you must work within the tenant so we can achieve that agenda of ensuring women and youth do successful businesses.
Osman Ayariga, CEO of the Ghana Youth Authority, expressed his commitment to promote the effective implementation of support programs.
For us at the National Youth Authority is for us to be able to advocate through policies for most of these businesses to be youth-led, most of these startups should be youth-oriented, and most of these grants should be directed towards the youth so that you can have many young people go into business. So I want to commend the Young Entrepreneurs Chamber for this innovative program of their business agenda.
Meanwhile, Sharif Gali seized the opportunity to call on government to desist from rolling out blanket programs, but rather target specific entrepreneurs and grow them into global giants.
I am happy that this government have decided to say that we are doing 10,000, that is training and capacity, but we are giving only 2,000, and that is targeted. And this is how we have to go. And I hope that that 2,000, they will be selected based on business plan, not where they belong or the political color they wear. An independent body should be picked up that understand financing, business financing. Let them do the selection, and so you give them the money. When that is done, donor partners will be confident in it, that they can even put in their money, and the whole of Ghana, I'm sure, will be confident.
The National Business Agenda is supported by the Investment Climate Forum Facility, the European Union, the British Council, and GIZ.
Some foreign investors are looking forward to some reviews of Ghana's local content laws to create room for fairness in procurement processes. This is critical to safeguard the gains made by Ghana as a safe haven for investment on the African continent. French ambassador to Ghana, Jules Amand, made the passionate appeal during a speech at the France-Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industries Gala Dinner and Awards. Here's more.
At the 7th Gala Dinner and Awards Night of the Chamber of Commerce and Industries France-Ghana, French ambassador to Ghana, Jules Armand Anyamboso, said Ghana has one of the best business climates that must be guarded jealously. According to him, local content procurement has been a key factor for many French businesses in considering to expand their operations in Ghana. He therefore called for fairness in the process to prevent foreign investors from leaving the country.
Nevertheless, ensuring local content requirements are met must be done in a fair and equitable manner. It was our saying. Otherwise, international companies may be obligated to leave the country and the local market. There are so much opportunities, many opportunities in this country, and it is not good for the beautiful people of Ghana to lose all this opportunity the foreign companies they can provide to the country.
The gala event also provided a platform for members of the Chamber to interact and share common knowledge on business growth. Managing Director of the Chamber, Maxine Reindorf-Partey, spoke to Joy Business.
Main priority is looking at how the business environment will evolve. So as of 2025, we've seen that economically things have improved. The city is appreciating, but of course we're also looking to other factors as well. The improvement of local content requirements. We're also looking at the passing of the GIPC Act in terms of the minimum capital requirements for foreign investors. So these are all things that we are looking forward to. In regards to our activities as a chamber, we're well known for our networking events. So of course the gala is our largest event of the year.
President of the Chamber, Seko Koulibaly, disclosed to Joy Business that members are enjoying a fresh breath of confidence in the economy.
Now, to be honest, we're confident. We feel like there is a new energy in the country. We're seeing that there is a lot of good things happening. We're seeing the city appreciate. We're expecting inflation to reduce, and there are some things that we hadn't seen in a long time. And so we hope that it continue in this trajectory. I believe that there are the right people, and I hope that the discipline will continue and that we'll continue to work together. But beyond that, I think as we strengthen our relationship, we can only win. Ghana is a hub of investment. For me, it's the Dubai of Africa. It's the Singapore of West Africa. And we need to recreate that strategic location. And we need the government for that. Yeah.
Some members also expressed optimism about the platform and the importance of supporting the country's economic growth.
Chief Executive Officer of Amenfiman Rural Bank, Dr. Alexander Asma, has expressed concern over the exclusion of rural banks from key government policy-making processes. Speaking to Joy Business, he emphasized that although rural banks are the backbone of the informal sector, they are often denied the recognition and representation they deserve, creating a significant gap in inclusive economic development.
Many people, even in authority, do not even understand what rural banks are for. They think that rural banks are small micro institutions. Some of them don't even understand what we are doing. And so if policymakers don't understand you and don't understand your impact, how will they support you? We are providing access to credit loans to about 6.5 million customers have loans with us. These are people, ordinarily, they wouldn't even be able to receive loans from a commercial bank. But we are reaching out. This is the base of our economy. You know, our economy is largely informal. And the people at the base of the economy, they are the people who we are supporting, who we are building their capacity. Recently, there was a big function at the Kwawu Easter where all the banks were called to discuss, the economy and financial intermediation, and the president was there. And surprisingly, rural banks were not called to be there. We couldn't go there to share what we can contribute. So on the decision-making table, we are not represented, and this is a big gap. And I am grateful for this question, because I believe that with Joy News and the spread of your media, we can really talk about it. I wish this become a national conversation. Let's sit on the table and begin to talk about the impact of rural and community banking in Ghana and how far we are able to prepare the base of our local economy to be able to sustain all of us. Farmers, we talk about micro business owners, we talk about small business owners, we talk about this is what we are doing. And I'll be glad for such a conversation to become a national conversation so that we can really, really talk more about this.
Away from that, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies has refuted claims that its members are not reducing fuel prices as much as they should, in line with the deregulated pricing framework implemented by the National Petroleum Authority. The Chamber, in a press statement, explained that it will be erroneous to base adjustments in fuel prices on only the performance of the cedi to the dollar. Here's a report.
Of oil marketing companies pointed out that even though the recent appreciation of the cedi is a relevant development, it represents only one component influencing the final export prices. It said the assertion that export prices should automatically decrease in direct proportion to the appreciation of the local currency is a misconception that overlooks key operational realities. The statement said that fuel prices are influenced by taxes and levies, ex-refinery price, as well as marketers and dealers' margins. Additionally, it explained that some oil marketing companies are currently retailing fuel procured during the previous pricing window at higher ex-refinery cost. This development is said stems from the fact that the deregulated downstream market is both saturated and intensely competitive, with many retail outlets operating below optimal throughput levels.
The Ghana Chamber of Mines has revealed that Ghana's gold production could increase by around 6.25% to approximately 5.1 million ounces in 2025, up from last year's record output of 4.8 million ounces. More in this report.
Said Ghana's high output has been driven by strong production and the introduction of new large-scale operations, countering the decline at the country's aging mines. The 2025 forecast published in the Chamber's annual report follows Ghana's stronger-than-expected performance in 2024, when total output rose to 19.3%, cementing its position as Africa's top gold producer ahead of South Africa and Mali. The surging prices of the precious metal have increased Ghana's export revenue and strengthened its cedi currency, boosting the country's recovery from its worst economic crisis in a generation. Ghana is also a cocoa producer and oil exporter.
The Ghana Bauxite Company is convinced the construction of a bauxite refinery in the country will ensure bauxite being rejected by the international market will, of course, be made useful locally. Now, by the existing agreement with off-takers, about 48% of alumina content is rejected for export, hence dumped in the mine's tailing dam as waste. General Manager of GBC, Alexander Jedu, has indicated that the company is actively advancing efforts to construct a refinery for that purpose. Anaya Ojima has more in this report.
Presently, the Ghana Bauxite Company's tailing dam, which is a disposing ground for aluminium that failed to meet the export standards, are full. The content of the tailing dam will be the first area of target for the company after the successful completion of the refinery.
Some of the areas, the quality is a bit low, and per the export contract with the off-takers, if it falls below 48%, it's a total rejection. But if you have the refinery, 48% alumina content can still be refined. If you look at straight ahead here, our tailings dam, the dam is full. The tailings in the dam is about 47% alumina content. So if you have the refinery, we can turn all these 47% alumina content and refine and get money and contribute more to the GDP.
In 2022, the IOP Group acquired 80% shares of the Ghana Boxite Company Limited, marking a significant milestone in Ghana's mining industry. The group has since invested $122 million in infrastructure upgrade and resolution of operational inefficiencies, leading to an increase in the company's bauxite tonnage to 1.8 million. General Manager Alexander Jedu speaks of work done so far.
We've identified the area where we'll be establishing the refinery. We've contacted Water Resources Commission, we've contacted Forestry Commission, we've contacted key stakeholders for us to be able to secure the land. As we speak currently, Lands Commission, Valuation Department of Lands Commission is assessing the values of the properties on the land. And hopefully by the end of June, we'll have access to this valuation report.
Meanwhile, the Western North Regional Coordinating Council has assured of support for the Ghana Bauxite Company's plans to build a refinery in the area. Regional Minister Robert Petty Brentum speaks after a tour of the area.
And I'll urge the company to go on with the corporate social responsibility agenda that it has. Because I know very well that there are many things that they've done for the catchment community. But I want to assure them that we will still put our ears down. If there is something going untoward, we shall intervene.
For Joy News, Nana Aljima, Awaso.
You're still watching Prime Business. The real estate sector in Ningo Pram is set for a major transformation as Cities and Habitats Ghana unveils the new ACCRA City project. At a special dedication ceremony, Apostle General Sam Kranche Ankra praised the development as a faith-driven and visionary initiative with the potential to reshape urban settlement patterns outside the capital.
That is redefining Ghana's real estate space through its ambitious new ACCRA City project in Ningo Pram. As the official dedication, Apostle General Sam Kranche Ankra described the project head, Mr. Daniel Edu, as a man of integrity and vision, declaring the project blessed and destined for success. He also emphasized the role of ethical business practices, hard work, and divine guidance in creating long-term sustainable value.
I celebrate the ingenuity and the visionary leadership being provided by Mr. Daniel Edu. Indeed, I can smell that this project is already a success story. Why? Because Daniel is a man of the word, he's a man of the spirit, he's a man of integrity, he's a man that pursues righteousness. And so when you have all these things working out for you, and God is also on your side, there is no way you will fail. In the coming months and in the coming years, we are going to see buildings springing all over this place. We are going to see development come into this area. We are going to see another city here that if you are here, you don't need to come to the city of Accra. This is the vision that God has given. And I know that he is going to succeed. The whole area is going to be an area of prayer, an area of peace, an area of blessing. Anyone who steps here is stepping into the grace and into the blessings of God.
According to Project Director Daniel Ohini Edu, the development is more than just a real estate venture. It is a bold urban transformation initiative aimed at easing congestion in major cities and creating modern, livable communities across the country.
We are not just doing real estate, we are doing cities. And very soon you're going to see more of this coming up in other parts of the country, other parts of Accra, and other parts of the country. We are providing hundreds of, employment for people in and around the area. We have artisans, we have engineers, we have architects, all kinds of people we are providing, apart from those involved in the normal day-to-day administration, marketing, sales. Yeah, it's providing a lot of jobs for people.
With faith, vision, and innovation at its core, the new ACCRA City project promises to be a game changer in Ghana's housing and urban planning space.
Let's now do business up north because Water Aid Ghana, in partnership with Guinness Ghana Breweries, has commissioned 2 water expansion projects in the Nauduli and Nadom towns that have the capacity to produce about 200,000 cubic meters of water annually. Guinness Ghana Breweries PLC for the past 5 years has commissioned 13 out of such water facilities in the country. Now, the commissioning of the project is to boost water supply in the respective towns. Rafiq Salam reports.
The Nodoli Township is one of the fastest growing towns in the Upper West region. Out of a population of 86,000 people that resides in the Nodoli-Keleo district, 6,201 are located here at Nodoli. The Greater Nodoli Enclave depends on the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, CWSA, for water. They have an 80 cubic meter capacity overhead tank that supplies water to 530 domestic customers and 12 standpipes. The daily demand of water consumption in the area has far outweighed the capacity of the water pumped daily from the high-rising tank. As a result, water supply here is erratic as it's been rationed. All, however, will be a thing of the past. Water Aid Ghana, in partnership with Guinness Ghana Breweries PLC, in collaboration with CWSA and the Noduli-Keleo District Assembly, with support from Interplus Limited, commissioned the Noduli Water Expansion Project. Under the Water for Life project, 2 towns in the Upper West region, namely Nadoli and Nandom, have their water supply systems expanded to enable them pump 200,000 cubic meters of water. The project will save over 88,000 people in the 2 towns. Water Aid Country Director Iwurabana Fanyi Akofol threw further light on the projects.
The focus of this project is really making sure that we are supporting CWSA and our local authorities to provide water, safe drinking water for everybody everywhere. And this year we've done this water expansion with CWSA in 2 locations, that is the Nandom and the Nandoli. Altogether we are expanding about 200,000 cubic meters of water to 80,000 people in these regions. The hope is that through this project, people will have access to water every day. Young children, of course, don't have to journey for hours to get water before they go to school. Households will have access to water to cook, to bath, to do their household chores. But most importantly, our healthcare facilities that also access water from CWSA will have adequate water to enable them manage their wash, infection prevention and control at the facility.
Corporate Relations Director for Guinness Ghana Breweries PLC, Sylvia Uso Ankoma, disclosed that for the past 5 years, her outfit has identified communities that have challenges with water with a commitment that they provide them with clean drinking water and also equip them with water, sanitation and health education to ensure that it is a priority for the communities.
13 of these projects have been commissioned across Ghana, mostly in the Upper East, Upper West region. And we've been very deliberate in choosing these communities because they also fall within communities where we source our local raw materials, which is sorghum and maize from these communities. Guinness Ghana turns 65 this year, and it's also our commitment that for the next 65 years, we'll continue to partner with our communities, ensure that their livelihoods are improved and that it's a shared growth for all of us to develop Ghana.
She noted that the project is also a way of showing their appreciation and to say thank you to the communities that they are getting their raw materials from.
We think in communities where we source our raw materials, we sell our products, we manufacture our products, we ensure that there's end-to-end sustainability. We call it grain-to-glass sustainability. We source our grain, we produce our grains into products that our consumers then get to enjoy, the beautiful products that you experience from Guinness Ghana, which are all locally manufactured from our Guinness Extra Foreign Stout, Malta Guinness, Star, ABC, and all the other products that you know from Guinness Ghana.
The rationing of water from the water systems here does not only affect the lives of domestic consumers, but critical health and emergency services as well. One of them is the Nodule Sub-Health Center.
We are told that this health center for days could go without water, and this water tank currently placed here could be weeks without water. But thanks to this new project that was commissioned in the community, they can now boast of water. You can see clearly that anytime that they want water, they have it right at their doorstep.
I am so overwhelmed because when you look at it, we have filled our reservoir to the brim. If you go inside the facility, we have filled all our containers. As of now, the water is still running. So I'm so happy.
Nadolo West Systems Manager of CWSA, Abdul Salam Murtada, is excited that with the coming into being of an additional water tank, it will enable them not only to be water sufficient, but to extend it to upland areas as well.
I'm quite sure we'll be having a lot of water to be able to push this particular kind of water, to be able to push water to the upland areas. Definitely, I know it will be some kind of relief to the people in Nadoli, because sometimes for a full day or two, you will not be having water. But through this collaboration between Guinness Ghana and Water Aid, I'm quite sure that we are going to improve on the production of water, and we will be able to distribute water to the needed community.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Nadoli.
That's our package by way of Prime Business. I am Pius Kojo Baka.